Well, welcome back to Toronto. Good to have you here.
It is wonderful to be home.
In the rain.
We're inside. Doesn't matter.
It's all good. Congratulations. Well, first of all, you are like a Netflix veteran. You know, you already have stuff on
I'm
there.
a net vet.
You are a net vet. But I have to say, Russell, I'm watching, an episode of this, A Little Help with Carol Burnett, and I'm guessing. Hi, Russell, we have a new show we'd like you to do from Netflix. Oh, yeah, and you're going to be co-hosting with Carol Burnett. No brainer.
Yeah. Well, it was. I wish it was that simple. It was. They auditioned me for it, and a bunch of other guys, and I fortunately I won.
I'm so happy.
I think my age and the fact that I'm a dad really worked in my favor on that.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Yeah, because I think the other guys were a little younger and they didn't have kids.
Right. So I was going to ask you. So you get outside. What was the first meeting like with Carol Burnett?
The first meeting was just me gushing, like, "Oh my gosh, Miss Carol Burnett, I can't believe it's you." And you want to tell them how much they mean to you, and then you realize everybody tells them how much they mean to them.
But I would think that she would be cool to that.
She was. Let me tell you something. She's a pro,
Yeah.
and she's amazing. She doesn't ever make you feel weird about it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, just even watching her with the kids and with you on this show, it's
Yeah.
very relaxed.
Yeah, and she was. If she gives you a hug, it's a genuine hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what a veteran. We were just talking off camera before we started about earliest memories of Carol Burnett. First, tell me yours.
Well, my earliest memories are watching the Carol Burnett show, which, as you know, CHCH used to run. I think you had run it every night of the week at some point.
At some point, yeah.
I think it might have been in the late 70s, early 80s. You guys ran it every night at a certain time, and I remember watching it. I just knew that I would watch CHCH to watch it.
Yeah, and what was it about it that, for me, when I was growing up, I was, 10 or 11, my parent used to go out maybe Saturday night.
Right.
And my grandmother would babysit, and my parents would say, go to bed. But no. My grandmother would let me stay up and watch Carol Burnett with her, like every weekend.
Yeah, my parents would do the same. They would let me watch Carol Burnett with them. And I would just, I remember watching how much my dad would laugh. And then that would make me laugh. And then it made me pay attention more to the show.
Do you think that's something that kind of sparred your comedic talents and made you want to be a comedian?
It definitely gave me characters to watch and want to do impressions of. Like when Tim Conway did Mrs. Wiggins. All that used to kill me. And even it's funny. There's a member of Tony named Dwayne Wiggins, and I remember the first time I read his name, I go, "Hey, Dwayne Wiggins,"
And also, it gave you maybe the sense that it's okay to laugh too.
Oh, I mean, I always knew it was okay to laugh. I think laughing is probably the best thing you can do in life. It's easily the best thing you can do in life.
Yeah, that's for sure. No problem if you break in front of the camera. Who cares?
Yeah, that's what I loved about it, is that they would break character during the show, and that made it made it so real for me that they are having a good time.
Yeah.
You want to see people. I don't want to see somebody acting like they're having a good time. I want to know they're actually having a good time. Yeah. And we had a great time shooting this. I had a great time with the kids. I had a great time with Carol. I had a great time with the guests. All in all, it was just a great time.
Yeah, no, well, listen.
It really should be called A Great Time with Carol Burnett.
Great time with Carol. Now, I have to ask you, let's talk about the kids a little bit, because they're adorable. But, kids will just say whatever they want. It doesn't really matter. There's no filter there.
Yeah.
But it's always the cutest stuff. And I want to know,
Well, some of it's the cutest stuff, and some of it makes you go, how old are you?
That's true.
Yeah.
They do seem a little bit extremely mature or something.
Yeah, they're. I think kids nowadays are different than kids when we were kids.
Yeah, no, there's no question about
Yeah.
that. So how was your relationship with them? I mean, especially being a dad, you've got a 6-year-old, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So, some of them are around that age,
Yeah.
or a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Tell me about how playing a dad played into you, working with these kids.
Well, I know how to talk to kids.
Yeah.
I know specifically how to talk to little girls because I have a daughter. So when it came to the little boys, I realized I can't talk to them the same way that I talk to a little girl, because I'm much sweeter when I talk to a little girl. And if you talk to a little boy like that, they're kind of like, "What's wrong with you, sir?" So you have to kind of, and then I don't know how to balance it with, well, I don't know how to talk to a little boy. I don't know how to talk to other men. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to balance it with, well, you're a small man. And then if you talk too young to them, they act like, what are you doing? And then I get my back up because I'm like, well, slow down, kid. I'm a grown man here, all right?
Yeah.
Just take it down a notch.
Well, there's that cute little part where you're being interviewed by this little one, Robert.
Robert.
Who he's kind of my favorite so far.
Robert was pretty awesome. Robert was really awesome.
He is very, very adorable. And honestly, like when you're sitting there across from this, what is he, like 5? I don't know.
I think Robert was 5 or 6. Yeah.
And you're being, you're talking to him on this kind of one-on-one basis. And how do you sit there and not go, like, what is going on here?
Well, that was, that part was actually scripted.
Yeah.
And that was, we didn't have very many scripted things on the show.
I'm sure.
That was one of them. And the kid was great. It was funny when we were shooting because he would lose focus every now and then.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would have to wrangle him back. I'm like, come on, Robert, let's just do this. And he would just say whatever line he thought he would say. And I felt bad for him because the script supervisor and his father were like badgering him to say exactly what's written there. And I go, don't do that to him. I go, hey, Robert, how would you say this? And then he said it his way. And I go, that's fine. Let's do it that way.
Yeah.
And it made it easier for him. You want the kid to be comfortable. You don't want him to feel like he's failing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is it like with the dynamic of all the kids around? And then watching them with Carol Burnett on the set. It must be amazing.
The kids were really great with Carol, which was my concern. I didn't care how they acted with me. Because, I know how I can handle them.
Yeah.
But, I wanted to make sure they were respectful to Carol.
Right.
And that they, nobody was out of line with her or tried to get too cute with her,
Yeah. How do they
I felt very protective over Carol, is what I really felt.
Well, I'm sure. Listen, she's a legend. There's
Yeah.
no question about it. And I can't even believe she's in her mid-80s already. Like.
Oh, yeah. And she's sharp as a tack.
Right. And I was going to say, you look at some of the legends that are still around, thank God. You've got Betty White and Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks and
William Shatner.
William Shatner.
He's 87.
I know. And they're all, post that and Carol Burnett. And I'm going, most of these people are funny people. And they're living long, happy lives.
Yeah, you look at the
So first
people.
of all, you have a lot to look forward to, my
Great.
friend.
I was hoping to check out early, guys.
No, but seriously, they say that laughter is the best medicine.
Unless
you
you're
have to
sick.
agree?
Unless you're sick, then medicine's probably the best medicine.
Well, okay, fine. I get it. No problem. Yes, but it's still,
No, but
like, when
I
you
think
about it.
I don't know if laughter is definitely great for you, but I think just being internally happy is probably better for you.
Yeah.
Outwardly happy is one thing, but internally happy is much, much greater.
Yeah.
And I think that's, if you look at the people that are in this business and that are very old, they all have that internal happiness about them.
Yeah.
I met Norman Lear at the Emmys this past year, and I literally started crying when I met him. I met him and I started literally bawling my eyes out, and I go, Mr. Lear, I gotta go, sir. I got to embarrass you. I just walked away.
Yeah. No, I understand that for sure. I was like that when I met Mel Brooks, and I just couldn't hold it back.
I heard a story that Mel Brooks knows who I am. Last year, somebody said they were having dinner with him, and one of my friends' parents are friends with Mel Brooks, and they were in Vegas having dinner, and there was this other guy there who was a younger comic, and he had mentioned me and Mel Brooks. Yes, I heard of this guy. Yeah. And I was
amazing.
like, I don't even care if it's true. The fact that somebody said that, I was really good with that.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that is just fantastic. Well, and you're on tour now, so you're heading around
I'm
the
on
world.
tour, heading
pretty
back out to Europe soon.
Yeah, what are the audiences like?
Yeah,
Like,
they're great. I mean, they're fans. They're already there to see you, so you've already got half the battle conquered. So it's good, just good to be back and doing what I know how to do best.
Well, it's good to have you back in town, even just for a few hours, and
That's
to talk
right.
to you. And congratulations on this series. It is a
Thanks.
riot. It's so much fun.
I'm excited about
And
it.
it's great that it's all family friendly too.
Yeah, that's what you want it to be.
Yeah. Well,
It shows people a different side of me.
we like this side. You can keep it up.
Yeah, you want to
Is
show.
it hard to rein it back?
No, it's not. I mean, as you get older, you mellow, right?
Yeah.
You're not as edgy as you once were when you were a kid.
Well, congratulations again,
Thank
and
you.
always great talking to you. Thank
You
you
too.
so much for your time.